These are the tales and ramblings of two men, their dream of running a successful food truck business and life. We invite you along to join Josh and Skippy on this journey. This is Monday Morning Food Truck.
Powered by Riverside.
Good morning, Skippy.
Morning, Joshua.
Those of you trying to hop on the YouTube stream, it is coming up. I started it just a smidgen late. Sorry, so hang in there. It's trying to start. Sorry.
Tens of listeners.
Tens of listeners. Hey, we made an appearance on the U.S. charts for food podcasts again. So we hit 176, number 176 in the United States for a good few days. So thank you, everybody. Way to go. Yeah.
Thank you for downloading us.
Yeah. I appreciate it if you listen to, not just download, but
and subscribed. I mean, if you want,
all the things would be awesome.
All that would be fantastic.
I'm not sure. Hold on. Skippy, can you go to YouTube and see if that is pulling up?
Would you like me to do it on my telephonic device, or does it matter?
It doesn't matter. Just go and see if you can find our live stream. See if it's actually recording. I'm not showing anything on the preview screen yet. Even though it says it's streaming and it's an excellent connection. So we might have to restart potentially, but I'm hoping not. That is showing that it's working.
Don't see.
Uh-huh. But our Noego group is loyal customers are starting to be in an uproar. This will mark our third straight weekend without being up there.
Wake me up when September ends. It's like
is it showing? It's not showing any current live.
No, I clicked on the live. There's nothing there.
Oh, what the hell? All right, we are live here, so that's good. Sorry, everybody. Give us just a second.
Wake me up when September ends.
There's no extra button to push there. It should just go.
Funny, interesting story that happened to, since that's a Green Day song. Green Day just performed at Comerica Park, and everybody was rushed off the stage for 8 minutes because there was a drone in the sky, which I was told by some concert goers who were there. The drone was there for a good hour, and like somehow it was just noticed.
I mean, unless you're looking for. I mean, yeah.
They said it was the people that told me about it said it was kind of loud. They knew it was there.
I'm gonna stop the show real quick, Skippy, and we're gonna hop right back in. Okay.
Okay.
See if that kicks in the YouTube stream for us. Just a second, everybody.
Please hold.
And we're back. Maybe. Hopefully.
I mean, I haven't left.
So yep, they kicked right in. So I think it's because I started the YouTube live stream after we already hit record here, so I don't think it kicked in.
Boy,
of course, it is showing a black screen though.
Well, it's probably better than the rest of us.
But it's showing it's streaming. I'm getting a timer on it. It says we're live. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. Welcome to Monday, everybody.
Welcome to Monday.
Welcome to a Lions Victory Monday.
Lions Victory Monday. They had to
go Lions. We put 0 bets on this season. I don't know that you would have wanted to, anyways.
I'm not the. I don't think they're a Super Bowl contender. but I think they're definitely poised to make it far in the playoffs again.
Yeah, you don't think they can get over the hump?
Granted, what they showed us last night, was that they could start a game off strong. Their defense looked okay for the most part.
Better.
Yeah, for the most part. I think you have an. I hate to say you have an unsung hero in Anzalone, but the guy's a monster.
He's not unsung. He's been that way since he's been in Detroit. He
just doesn't get recognition like Hutchinson does.
He's a crazy person.
Yes. But I saw the TikTok video of the Lions giving Dan Campbell giving the game balls out.
Oh yeah.
And he got one of them, and he was so soft spoken.
Oh yeah, he's such a. I think that's pretty much all the team. They are so much different off the field. Outside of JMO's pretty loud off the field,
Yeah.
but he's starting to grow up though, and I like that a lot.
He needs it. Everybody. I mean, there's Montgomery's a little horse. I mean that guy's just a beast.
I think everything went to plan. I think their plan was to highlight JMO last night, to get some good new film on him. Now that he's healthy and he's had a good full off season, I don't think St. Brown was snubbed at all. I think that was all part of the plan. You know,
true. I mean, they did pay him a lot.
Now they have something else to contend with. They can't just double team St. Brown all night, and it's going to be a fun year to watch. So
they didn't.
If only the Bears would have stayed stupid.
Well, what's his name? Caleb Williams looked horrible.
Yes, he does.
I mean,
well, there wasn't a single offensive touchdown in that game.
Yeah, I mean, it was very bad.
Yeah, we had it on in the trailer. Hold on, I gotta. Took a second. Getting a podcast isn't working. Chad, I think he just got on early.
Okay.
I let him know that it was working now.
It is working.
Yes, it is up and live.
It is full. We are live.
Yep, there is all of 3 people on it currently. So, good morning, everybody in YouTube world.
I am. I'm going to share my screen.
Okay.
We'll talk about our weeks, but this just came across and it just baffled me. So, this guy keeps popping up on my feed.
Sure. Bernie's blue line is still waiting for that prize, by the way, Skippy.
Well, you're waiting for a while. Okay. So this is a barbecue guy out of Massachusetts.
Matt.
Somerset. Matt guy.
Yeah.
Just look at those prices. Just look at those.
A half a brisket for $250?
A half a pan.
Oh.
Half a pan.
What?
Yeah.
Well, I got to do some math now.
It's like $50 a pound.
So is that 10 to 15 or 10 to 13? 10 to 15?
10 to 15.
So let's say even at 15 people, 15. I mean, it's almost $17 a person, which seems high.
So the captions are over here.
Yeah, I was just reading that.
Holy smokes, I dream of the day I can find people that will pay that. So he says it's because Massachusetts, the state, loves passing laws that cause meat prices to skyrocket. We are the California of the East Coast. So I've been trying to find brisket prices in Massachusetts. And
well, $36 for a rack of ribs.
Yeah, there's restaurants around here that charge that shit.
Yeah, and if you are sticking true to food costs where you're going 4 times cost, then that's even low. But
the buffet options, 2 meats, 2 sides, $35 to $55 a person.
Well, yeah, if you're getting brisket.
But
wow,
I've never been higher than 22, and I thought that was high
for 2 meats and 2 sides.
No, that was like 3.
We've done a couple $30 weddings a person.
$150 for mac and cheese.
Yeah.
And German potato salad. Don't forget that. Coleslaw. Like, that's just crazy, man.
$100 for a pan of coleslaw. I mean, even if you're making it from scratch with your chopping cabbage, it's only going to cost you $10.
This time is really... It's based off half-pound servings.
And then you get to cornbread at $25 a half pan, and it seems way underpriced.
I think you can only fit like 10 Gordon pieces in a half pan now.
Well, if you stack them. I was figuring that Gordon pan as a half pan.
That's
roughly.
Funny. I just saw this and I'm like, holy Jesus.
I'm being told your volume's a little low, Skippy.
Tough shit. I don't know what to tell you.
Wow, I say that kind of crap, and I am the worst person ever. But Skippy can get away with it. Whatever.
I can't turn on my mic, so it doesn't matter.
Why can't you turn up your mic?
Because it's already turned up.
Not in Riverside. Go to your Windows settings.
I am.
Oh, okay. Sorry, Jesus. Skippy's feisty this morning.
No, I only have, because this is a headset, I can only turn up the volume of my headset. Not necessarily.
They should still be listed differently in the sound settings.
They're not. But please, I'll even go to my settings. Maybe I'm just talking softly. Maybe I just want.
Are you share your screen? Let's see your settings. Let's fix this. I was an IT guy after all.
Please hold. Oh boy! All right, what do we got? Do we go to system?
Or just in the search bar, just type sound settings.
Oh, sound. Settings.
If you want to go through all the
sound mixer options, manage sound devices.
Probably that one.
Manage input devices. Oh, sound settings.
There you go.
Lower volume of other apps when narrator is speaking.
No,
we'll go
fuck that shit. So yeah, mine goes headsets and then microphones are down lower.
Yes, I have a test your microphone. Here, ready? Here we go. I'll share it. Let's do online. Yes, I plugged it in, Josh.
I didn't say anything.
Oh, I can't. Oh, hold on. Window. There we go. Settings. Share.
Why don't you have it? Yeah, that's stupid. What's under advanced sound options?
App volume and device performance.
That's preference, but it's close.
It's enough. There you go. Yeah. That's what I got.
Is your microphone a Lenovo? Isn't that your laptop?
No, this is my headset.
Your headset's a Lenovo headset?
It is.
That is weird. I'm not saying I don't believe you. I've never seen a Lenovo headset. All right, cool.
Thank you for playing.
Talk louder then.
I'm trying. I just want to whisper sweet nothings into everybody's ears.
Well, they don't like that when they can't hear you, Skippy.
Would you like me to put it in my mouth?
Yes, please.
Ooh.
Yeah, get it in there.
So, how about that? Is that better?
Speaking of putting things in mouths, I'm looking forward. I'm going to listen to What's Her Name's podcast and see how that goes.
What's her name?
I can't think of her name now. Hawk Tua girl.
Oh.
Her podcast is called Talk Tua.
Talk Tua, yeah. Yeah, saw that.
I'm going to give that a listen, see if there's anything worthwhile in there.
You know, she says she references herself as the female tomater. She was on Sarah Silverman's podcast. Sarah Silverman's like, "You're like the Dolly Parton of our generation." She's like, "No, she's like, no, I'm like tomater." She's like, "What?"
Dolly Parton.
Anyway, I guess we should go through some weeks and see how bad or good or what we should have done. And
yeah, hold on, I'm trying to get through a couple more things here. Yeah, go ahead and start talking, Skippy.
Oh, start talking. Okay. I this was a week of private events. So I think we talked about Sunday, but I had a wedding on Sunday. Little one received unbelievable feedback. Gave me a 5-star review on Google. Love it. Thank you very much. Probably the best. I texted him on Monday to ask, kind of, just I always do a follow up text, make sure everything went well, and see if they had any feedback for me. And he said the only bright spot of their whole day was our food. I'm like,
Of the wedding?
yeah. I'm like, oh.
How about the part where you actually got married?
I'm not telling his wife that, so that's okay.
I will be happy to cater the divorce party as well. Haley Welch, thank you, Justin.
Yes, Haley Welch. We did a subdivision on Tuesday. It sucked. It didn't suck. It wasn't good, but it sucked. It's kind of a far drive for nothing. These people want subdivisions or want trucks to come out there, and it's like, I swear, after a certain time frame, it should just stop, because moms and dads got stuff that they got going on that they don't want to come get food. They'd rather just stop at McDonald's on the way home or something like that. So that's what I'm seeing with subdivisions.
I know.
What are you doing with weird voices and faces?
I'm fiddling around with trying to get the TikTok live to work.
As Randy Twyford would say, quit fiddle fucking around.
Hey man, pitter patter.
Of little feet.
Let's get at her.
And then we had I actually took a day off, technically, on Wednesday.
What?
I had my girls run the truck at our local farm and home store.
Nice.
It was fair.
It was a fair at the.
No, it was fair. It was fair. It was a really bad morning, because when I got to the location, I realized that my food was all over the floor because my warmer bucket warmer door came undone.
That should not be a problem. You are a seasoned pro, Skippy. That shouldn't be a problem. You just kick it once or twice, pick it up, and wipe it off, and back into the Cambro it goes.
Luckily, nothing was popped out of its foil wrappings. So
good.
Grease might have been on the floor, but we cleaned it up.
Good.
Anyway, Thursday, barbecue, beets, and barley. We were parked. I don't know how the hell I got it parked there, because we took our food truck. Everybody else got a tent. Poor special. We decided to do tacos as our treat, or tasting, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
We were the only ones with a line, so I'm wondering if the food truck brought the line. So we had people come back for more. So I realized they raised $125,000 that night. That's good for them.
How much?
$125,000 for
Good.
Arbor Hospice. This is our second year doing this. This year was more fun. We were out with everybody. So even though we were in a food truck, we were still with the crowd.
You were so yours are outside.
These two were outside.
Yeah.
The ones I did.
Those that are in Michigan, if you have one of these near you, I highly recommend doing them. It's really good exposure.
Very.
You're not gonna. You can get reimbursed up to $2,000, which is fine. Paid for our food and a little bit extra.
Yeah.
We bought some extra equipment for it. So we had a little condiment station, like a cocktail condiment station, that we put pickles and pickled onions in out there for them, so they could dial up their little sliders. Mm-hmm. So we had some extra costs involved with it to do it. But first of all, this is all a fundraiser. So the people there, and at least the one in Grand Rapids, was high end. So it was a fancy little thing. It was at DeVos Place. The people that were there had disposable income.
They have money.
We handed out a whole lot of business cards. I know that we've gotten at least one wedding from it. And that's just the ones I can connect to the event. So, it's a great event. It's for a great cause. It was a lot of fun. It was fun hanging out with other for us barbecue vendors and food trucks that were there, and some restaurants and stuff, and kind of trying some other people's food. It's kind of shooting the shit and talking shop. It was kind of fun.
So I had on just a fun barbecue shirt. I didn't have on my PB&J shirt because I was mainly making food. My helper did. She was at the front window. So I decided to take the tokens. Now, so each ticket is $65 in advance or $75 at the door. And there was 200 people there minimum. They had 7 or 8 barbecue vendors. I walked up to one because they had a rib taco. That's what they were making. It was a rib taco. Which all it was just mushed up ribs with barbecue sauce on a tortilla shell.
Mushed up?
Well, that's what it tasted like. But there was 2 people there. There was a chef, and there was probably his handler, a gal. And
handler.
she looks at me and she says, she looked at my barbecue shirt, and it's like a bunch of TV screens or computer screens, and it says what I do with my day, and it's all about obsessing about barbecue. Anyway, so she was reading it. She's like, "Oh, I like your shirt. What's your favorite barbecue place?" And I looked at her. I'm like, "Mine." She's like, "Oh, really? Are you one of the vendors out here?" I said, "Yeah, food truck." She's like, "Oh, awesome! I gotta come try it out." I'm like, "Oh, great." Hey.
So those that are having problems with Skippy being too soft,
What?
in order to counteract this, I'm just going to turn my microphone volume down a little bit. That way, everybody can turn up a little bit, and so that way, if they turn up their volume to hear you, they're not blowing their ears out with me. So hopefully that will help.
They've never had a problem hearing me.
It's always been me. So
see what you did.
I think because I'm so close to the microphone, and I had it turned up all the way that I'm coming through so loud that they had their volume turned more down than normal.
I mean, I can't get much closer to mine.
Yeah.
Okay. You do sound softer now.
I did a couple things. I turned my volume down a little bit, and then I moved it away.
Yeah, you did a couple things, you dirty didder. Anyway, so it was a really good event. We got reimbursed. We pulled out of there, no problems. Got home late.
Yeah,
Friday,
those are late nights.
Yeah, they are. Especially when you're parked like you have no idea how you park there. And then you got to back up instead of going over a tall hill.
Yeah, we had one of those on Saturday.
Friday, we had another private event with or catering with the Washtenaw County Contractors Association sporting clay outing. So we went to a clay shooting or shooting range. Served 125 people in probably an hour, and of course they didn't tip, but that's fine. Sometimes. Saturday we had a wedding. Saturday, yeah, I called you. Saturday. So I have learned a valuable lesson about how to keep everything in writing. I was going through emails. I was going through text. I was going through smoke signals. I was going through anything I possibly could to try to verify the number of people that they said. Now, I invoiced them for 175. And for some reason, I thought they called me and said, we're not going to have that many people, but we want leftovers. I'm like, okay. So then trying to figure out, like, I cooked 4 briskets, 4 like probably 18-pound briskets and a whole case of butts. I'm like, I should have enough.
First, I want to stop you there because of the way that you stated that you put on 4 briskets that were probably about 18 pounds a piece. So do you not individually weigh your briskets and go by weight?
No.
Okay.
Should I?
Well, last I checked, all briskets don't weigh the same. Well, so we always go by weight.
Oh, so like you weigh your briskets before you do anything?
We weigh our briskets and then we figure 50% loss. So let's say if you had 100, you needed 200 people brisket for 200 people. So that is 50 pounds of cooked brisket that we need, which means we need 100 pounds of uncooked brisket. And then we go from there.
I generally, yeah. Okay.
I know that you generally think that you're there, but this way you're there.
I never thought about that.
That's how
I just buy
all of our meat choices are that way.
ones I can. So whenever I go for a case, I'm like, hey, I need the biggest one. They're like, okay, 74 pounds. I'm like, all right, well, do the math, divided by 4, divided by 5, whatever. Okay, yeah, I need to keep a scale. All right, that makes more sense.
Yep.
So I had what I thought was enough brisket.
Yep.
And for weddings, to try to keep it fancy, I try to slice it, not chop it. So here's what I did. I unfortunately did not take your advice. I panicked. I called a barbecue restaurant friend of mine who I knew was open, and I went and bought a brisket, a whole one. Mine was definitely better than his. But anyway, it's fine. I mixed them all together. But he only charges $19 a pound for his, so like okay, it was like 11 pounds cooked. So we definitely had enough. When I told you barely, I was fibbing. We had enough.
So would you have had enough without his brisket, do you think?
Yes, I would.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I'm like, small price to pay just to make sure. Like it's kind of where I was with this.
Mm.
It was a very fancy-ish kind of wedding, and I didn't want to fuck up. So yeah, his wasn't that good. But anyway.
Does he listen to the podcast? I hope
no,
not.
Definitely not. No, but he does think his shit don't stink. So, however, so everything went great. We actually got a 5-star Google review from one of the guests at the wedding.
Nice.
That was great. Everything else went swimmingly. It was in and out in 2 hours, 3 hours, 3 to 7 or 4 to 7. Took the trailer with us for ease of maneuverability. Didn't have to worry about unloading out of Cambros.
Mm-hmm.
And the venue actually hosts summer concerts, so they took a couple business cards and going to give us a call next year.
Nice.
And then Sunday, we got a call last Tuesday to see if we were available, and I said yes. Great, we'd like to book you for this event. What's your minimum? I'm like, well, it's a Sunday. How many hours? 2. All right, so minimum I said was 1,000. Just go for it. I said, how many people are you expecting? He said 50 to 75. I said, okay, what kind of event is this? Oh, it's a fundraiser. I said, okay, for what? For the Michigan Democratic Party. I'm like, okay, I actually provided food for them last year, so yeah, good. He's like, oh, well, that's great. So then I get these texts from the same number. I was starting to think it was a scam. Because the last text I got is, once you're done at the barbecue, please give me a call so I can submit payment. Like, okay. So I show up probably 45 minutes early, and like nobody's there. Like I see a white tent. I'm like, okay. And people start showing up, and it was. And basically we fed the neighborhood because nobody showed up for this fundraising event for the Michigan Democratic Party. Anyway, so the email ends in such and such at 2024victory.com. Anyway, I sent him an invoice. He paid it.
Confidence is high.
But can I tell you the one pet peeve I have? And you don't man the window a lot, so you might not hear this, but I bet if you ask Chris, or Caleb or Rick, sorry, or even Pam, they just walk up, they look at your menu and then said, what do you have?
Oh yeah, all the time we get it. Yep.
Fucking hate. Like, why? Why do you even bother? Like, it's this thing right.
Everything that's right there
here.
That's what we have.
And so I have a small like 8x11 printed menu that has no prices on it, so I can put it out for catering, right? And then they wanted me to do chicken, and I don't normally do chicken, so I had to put that on a whiteboard underneath it. Everybody was looking at the whiteboard. So all you have is chicken sandwiches?
Oh.
No, there's a nice printed thing right above it, like right.
We have the exact opposite problem. No one looks at our sandwich board.
Normally nobody looks at it. Nobody looks at it.
Yeah.
But for some reason, it just stood out that I had a chicken sandwich, a Nashville hot chicken sandwich, and a loaded mac with chicken. I sold more chicken than I have all year.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it was a quick event, 5 to 7, done. Was paid, of course, no tip because the Democrats don't know how to provide gratuity. They want to take it away. And today I have my first PT appointment. After
Excellent.
we're
Congratulations.
I hope to hurt because this week it has really bothered the shit out of me that I can't bend.
I wish much pain upon you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
No problem. Yeah, last week for us was it was just a shorter week. We're off Tuesday. We always take the day off. Excuse me, after a holiday weekend.
No,
it is generally a pretty slow day for us. And as you stated, Tuesday was pretty slow for you at your subdivision. Mm-hmm. We find that, especially like the Labor Day holidays, Memorial Day holidays, there's a lot of cookouts going on. There tends to be a lot of
$500 is slow, right?
For a dinner.
Yeah, I consider that slow.
I'm pretty happy if we're 600 and above. Like 600 is my minimum for a subdivision. That I'm like, all right. But we also do lunches, so we're making money at lunch, so it's extra. We're just making extra then at dinner. Everything's paid for through lunch, typically for us.
Good. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're fine. Yeah, so typically people generally have a lot of leftovers and stuff from holiday cookouts and stuff, so we typically take that Tuesday off, and we did. So we were open Wednesday, Walker City Hall again for a second time this year, and that'll probably be the last time.
Not much.
Just not. I think we did 500 for lunch, which isn't good for us. And then, and on top of that, it was one of our slower subdivisions historically. So, yeah, I think we were just over maybe 1,200, I think, for the day. Which is fine when we're not losing money. But definitely not what we were hoping for. Thursday, we went down to Midwest, which is always a good time. Pretty busy day down there. And then Rivertown Park, which was an okay dinner. Yeah, it's probably 700-ish for dinner there. Friday all day at Wiseman, we sold out. Didn't have a ton of food to start the day. We were really banking on it being lunch and then kind of piddling off towards the evening because of football season. We definitely notice there Friday nights during football season that high school football that it just gets slower because everybody in that area goes to football games. So we had cooked appropriately. I think Chris was done 45 minutes early. So, but he did dinner by himself. So yeah, Caleb went home at 4, I think, and he did the last couple hours by himself. Saturday was our return to Deep Roots, the farm stand. It was their opening weekend for their corn maze. We were there from 10 to 4, and then we had a private neighborhood block party from 6 to 9. So I had cooked for a high $2,000 type of day. Typically, we usually do 12 to 15 at Deep Roots there, and then was expecting about the same for dinner. Barely crested $1,000 for lunch at Deep Roots. And again, I think we had, this could be a common theme for the whole weekend. I think it was football. Michigan, Texas playing at noon. I think there was a lot of people tuned in to that game. I think it kind of kept things low key at the farm for us, which I don't think will be a problem going forward.
I'm wondering if Michigan has a 4 or 5-1 season, if I can get my spot back next to the stadium and try to sell.
Maybe
they won't try to charge me $1,700 like they did last time.
SeatGeek was offering a 10% discount on Michigan games as of yesterday.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I'm guessing they saw an influx of tickets being added to the site.
How the mighty have fallen.
People are all in when they want to see a national championship run, but no one wants to go and sit and watch their team get their asses kicked. So,
yeah. Anyway,
so yeah, that was that. I mean, it was okay lunch. But yeah, dinner was, we did 1,300 at dinner, in the 2.5 hours, pretty much. So yeah, pretty solid dinner. But yeah, 9 o'clock, and the clubhouse for this subdivision is the driveway goes in between two houses, and it's down by a little lake that's in the middle of all the houses. And then there's no lights on this little tiny road driveway thing. And we were in a little parking lot with another food truck, and yeah, there was some wiggling and maneuvering in the dark to try to get out. And yeah, late night, getting home at 9:30, and then turning around and being back on the trailer at 3:30. It's a quick turnaround, but it is going to be a pretty solid theme for us for the month of September. So, and then yesterday at Trail Point was decent. It was slower than we had hoped. It was pretty windy, a little bit chilly with the wind. So I think the patio was a little less occupied. And again, opening weekend of the NFL. Who knows? I think next week there, with the Lions playing at 1:00, I think it's going to be a ghost town. They do have TVs inside. They do show games, but I don't think anybody's going there to watch a game.
Have you thought about bringing a TV with an antenna?
Oh, we had my laptop. So I tried to go live on TikTok off my laptop, and the cell service there was just so atrocious to try to do live streaming that way. Because it's up and download, so it really chewed up whatever signal we had. But we did YouTube TV off my laptop and had the games on. So we had the Bears on. It wasn't awesome, but it was usable.
You do have a radio, don't you?
Yeah, and I do love Dan Miller. He's a phenomenal, but I like to watch.
Yeah, if you can, for sure.
And if it's going to be that slow, yeah, we'll definitely have time. So
absolutely.
So yeah, it was all in all, it was a pretty good week.
Yeah.
My big event from Labor Day weekend finally paid, so only took him a week. After being told the check was going to be mailed on Tuesday. And then I get a call from him Friday. He says, "I'm up here." I said, "Up where?"
Where
he's like, "No." He's like, "Newego." I said, "Okay, I'm in Hudsonville still." Like, were we supposed to meet? He's like, "No, I just figured that you guys were up here." And I was like, "No." He said, "Oh, I had I could write you a check." I said, "So it wasn't in the mail then." Got it. I said, "Just frickin' Venmo me." Because that's how they wanted to do it the day of. And I didn't want to finagle with taking it in my personal Venmo and then transferring it over to the business account and blah, 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 blah. So I said, "Just Venmo me and we'll get it taken care of." He said, "Oh, that'd be so awesome." So I text him my Venmo. I get an instant reply back saying, "Thank you so much. Get right on it." And I never saw a deposit. So I sent him another text message on Saturday morning. I said, "So didn't see a deposit. I didn't see a transfer. Is everything okay?" And I did not get a response from him until 6 p.m. and said, "I just did it. Sorry about the delay. Have a great weekend." And it was actually through. It's like, Jesus criminy.
Did he tip?
Nope.
Son of a bitch.
But it was a good. So the patrons that were there all tipped. The guys had a pretty decent tip night, regardless. But decent, not great. So yeah, and then 3 business days for the transfer on that to come through to my bank account. Unless I wanted to pay $25 for the instant transfer. Yeah. F that. So yeah, but we're gonna since we got through our weeks, let's take our quick little break. Hold on, so I can have a good separation, and then we will get into next week, or this week, I guess, not next week. This week, and all the other things Skippy wanted to talk about this week. He said he had a full slate for everybody, so looking forward to that. See if I can get the right Riverside thing to pop up. And we're back.